Today I'm going to teach you two really simple, super effective strategies for communicating effectively. You'll be able to do these today. Number one, I've mentioned it before, I'm mentioning it again because it's so good and it's always one of my go-tos that I come back to over and over, is correct or effective. Do you want to be correct? Do you want to be right? Or do you actually want to be effective? You have to decide that in every conversation you're having, in every dialogue, everything. Because we get very involved. I'll speak for myself. I get very involved with being right and forget that that's not necessarily going to get me where I'm going. So what I want you to always ask is, what's your end game? If your end game is to piss off the other person or to be mad at each other all night, then by all means, keep being right, keep being correct. But if your end game is, hey, I really want to get my point heard, I want to be understood, I want to feel appreciated, I want us both to feel connected at the end of this conversation, I want buy-in. I want this person, maybe you're at work and you're thinking, I really want this person to buy into this idea and really be able to come with me. Then you being right and just cramming down all the ways that you're right isn't going to get you there. And you know it, because when people do it to you, it pisses you off. So this is sort of like the old, would you rather be right or happy? But I realized that most people, when I asked that, would say, I want to be both. And so I realized I had to come up with something new. And correct or effective really gets the point home, because what's effective in this particular conversation you're having? What's your end game? What's the outcome that you're looking for? And trust me, you will often change how you approach someone, the words you use, the stance, everything, when you use that as your filter for how you're going to communicate. So deciding if you want to be correct or effective is the best way to start any conversation, and really getting in that mindset of, wow, I want to be effective. How do I do that? How do I approach this person? Where am I going? So that's number one. Number two, the second strategy that works like nobody's business, like a house of fire, is to focus on feelings, not facts. So most of the times, I bet the last discussion or disagreement you had with someone, what were the two of you doing? You said your side, they said their side, then you rebutted, then you went back and forth, back and forth. And this is the thing I talk about a lot. This is competition. You're setting up a competition where one of you is going to win, get your point across, be right, kind of goes to the first one, and one of you is going to lose. And what also happens is that we end up when you're putting out your points or your facts, you're very much in your head. You are just in your head. And especially if you're looking for any kind of connection, deep emotional intimacy, anything where you, again, feeling appreciated, understood, all that good stuff, that ain't from there. That's from your heart. This is heart energy. So you really need to come with heart energy. And I will tell you that this is true at work. I use this in businesses. I use this everywhere, not just in my romantic relationships, but everywhere. Always come from heart. Always come from that place. So when we come from there, from our feelings, it really changes the game. So when you're having a discussion with your partner or someone else and you say to them, you know what, I'm feeling really sad. Or and then say what you say. Because then if they come back with their facts, well, I'm just trying to tell you that I think we need to do this and this needs to happen and here's why. And when you just come back to, I feel really frustrated in this conversation, it totally takes the energy back down, out of the head, into the heart, where you start to connect. And what's really great is if you can stop someone when they're talking and say to them, can I interrupt you for 1 second? How are you feeling right now? First of all, totally, especially if you do this at work, but again, even romantic relationships, parenting, with your siblings, it works everywhere. You stop people in that diatribe, in that flow, that, again, that intellectual, coming at you, reporting and lawyering, and you say to them, how are you feeling right now? And I'll tell you what'll happen. Folks will kind of stop and go, well, I'm just trying to say what I mean, and I'm trying to get my point across, or whatever they say. And you say, no, how are you feeling? What's your feeling right now? And they'll come back at you. Well, I don't know, I guess I'm feeling really angry. I'm feeling frustrated that you're not listening, or something like that. It's usually what they'll do. And you'll say, just just how are you feeling? Not because of something I'm doing or something you're doing or anything else. How are you feeling? And they'll say, well, I guess I'm upset. I'm anxious that this isn't going to work or whatever. And, again, people tend to go into the facts and into all the heady stuff. I'm feeling that, blah, 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 blah. No, just what are you feeling? And when you drop into what you're feeling, then you bring some awareness to people about what's really driving them, what's really motivating their behavior, and what's really got them, twisted or upset. And that's where the action happens. That's where the real meat is. And you immediately come out of all that intellectualizing and all that lawyering. And I've got clients who are lawyers. I love you all, but save that for work, not for home. And when that happens, it just brings people into that connection. We don't connect through our thoughts. We connect through our feelings. And trust me, so you might be saying, no, I connect through my thoughts all the time. No, you don't. You feel the way you think. So really, whatever those thoughts are that are happening, when you have that feeling, that's when you feel that you start to connect. That's when that's happening. If you have children and you think about when they were babies, you were not connecting with them through thoughts. All that love, all that overwhelm of emotion, that almost flooding that you feel when you're with your child, especially when they're young and teeny and they're not talking back, and all that love they have, when you're having that, that's truly a feeling state. And then, and there's all these wonderful thoughts you have and all that, but you're not noticing that. You're noticing how you feel. So feelings are what connects. So those are your two for today. Super effective strategies. Do you want to be correct or effective? And focusing on feelings, not facts. That's it. I'm Dr. Abby Medcalf. I help people create lasting change in their relationships, even if their partner, boss, friend, lover, whoever won't do a thing.